As the universe exploded into being, 6 singularities of immense power were forged into concentrated ingots by the cosmic entities infinity, entropy, eternity, and death. Over time, the Infinity Stones, representing space, mind, reality, power, soul, and time, became scattered across the universe, with only those of great strength able to wield them. Having ruled unchallenged during an age of darkness, the Dark Elves felt threatened by the rise of new civilizations across the Nine Realms, a community of planets located in distant galaxies, but connected through a cosmic force known as Yggdrasil. Determined to return the Nine Realms to a state of darkness, the Dark Elf ruler Malekith tried to unleash the power of the Reality Stone during the time of the Convergence, an event every 5,000 years in which all 9 planets align. However, he was defeated by King Bor of Asgard, who ordered the Reality Stone hidden away in a secret location. Though Malekith survived and attempted to enact his plans again 5,000 years later, he failed once more due to the intervention of Bor's grandson Thor and his companions. As the early civilizations of Earth developed, the Time Stone came to be held by Agamotto, a student of the mystic arts and the first Sorcerer Supreme, who housed the stone in the Eye, so users could safely channel its power. The Eye was then kept safe by his followers for thousands of years, until coming into the possession of Doctor Strange, who took over leadership after the death of the Ancient One. Having been hidden on Earth by the Asgardians, the Space Stone, held within the Tesseract, was found by Johann Schmidt, a member of Hydra and Nazi officer during the Second World War, who planned to use his discovery to power an advanced weapons program. Experimenting with an early version of Abraham Erskine's super soldier serum, Schmidt became faster, stronger, and more resilient, but also turned red and was disfigured, becoming known as Red Skull. Once the serum was improved, it was used by the Allies to transform Steve Rogers into Captain America, leading the effort to defeat Red Skull, who in his final desperate moments attempted to hold the Tesseract in his hand, and was transported to the planet of Vormir, where he became Guardian of the Soul Stone. Though Captain America was victorious, he was forced to sacrifice himself to prevent an attack against America, crashing a plane off the coast of Greenland. Despite an extensive search, Steve Rogers was not found, but they did manage to recover the Tesseract, which went into the custody of the Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division. Although Captain America was presumed dead, he survived frozen in ice until recovered in the 21st century, when he went to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. alongside other super beings and expert assassins on special missions to protect humanity from global threats. Known as the Avengers Initiative, the project was named after Carol Avenger Danvers, a Kree-human hybrid who absorbed the power of the Tesseract in 1989, allowing her to summon vast amounts of cosmic energy, which granted her the ability to fly through air and space at super speeds, launch powerful energy blasts, and made her invulnerable to most forms of attack. Though she protected Earth and a population of Skrull refugees from the Kree in 1995, she then departed for many years, leaving her friend Nick Fury with a modified pager to contact her in case of emergency. Among the many who came to join the Avengers, the original members were Captain America, Thor, the Asgardian son of King Odin, the billionaire tech genius Tony Stark, who became Iron Man by wearing an advanced battlesuit powered by a miniaturized arc reactor, Dr. Bruce Banner, a renowned scientist able to transform into an indestructible creature known as the Hulk, the expert assassins Natasha Romanoff, called Black Widow, and Clint Barton, called Hawkeye, and the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Phil Coulson, who was critical in bringing the team together. As the Avengers began to take form, the first global threat emerged when Thor's brother Loki invaded Earth on behalf of the warlord Thanos, who wanted the Space Stone. Born on the once beautiful planet of Titan, his homeworld eventually became overpopulated, straining their finite resources until a great cataclysm wiped out most of their population. Forever scarred by this event, Thanos was convinced the only way to prevent this from happening again was to collect all 6 Infinity Stones and harness their energy through the Infinity Gauntlet, giving him the power to eliminate half the population of the universe with a snap of his fingers, thereby leaving the survivors with an abundance of resources to live long and happy lives. Ruling over the Chitauri, Outriders, and the Black Order, Thanos came into the possession of the Mind Stone and made a deal with Loki of Asgard to secure the Space Stone. Providing him with a scepter powered by the Mind Stone and an army of Chitauri, Loki planned to make himself King of Earth, but was foiled by the Avengers in the Battle of New York. Both Loki and the Tesseract were then taken to Asgard by Thor, and so when Malekith was defeated in the second Dark Elf conflict, the Reality Stone was given to the Collector, Hanalir Tivan, for safekeeping, as they did not want to keep 2 Infinity Stones in one place. Meanwhile, the scepter containing the Mind Stone was left on Earth with S.H.I.E.L.D, and as a result fell into the hands of Hydra, which heavily infiltrated the organization. conducting experiments to give ordinary people superhuman powers. Wanda Maximoff became Scarlet Witch, able to manipulate energy with her mind, while her twin brother Pietro became Quicksilver, gaining super speed. Undeterred by Loki's failure, Thanos next made a deal with Ronan the Accuser, a radical Kree terrorist who promised to bring him the Power Stone. However, once in his possession, Ronan betrayed Thanos and kept it for himself. Having opposed his people's peace treaty with the Nova Empire, he set out for vengeance, but in the end was defeated in the Battle of Xandar by the Guardians of the Galaxy, a ragtag group of mercenaries, including the half-human, half-celestial Peter Quill, called Star-Lord, Rocket, a genetically enhanced raccoon, Groot, a sentient tree-like being, Drax the Destroyer, a renowned warrior, and Gamora, the favorite daughter of Thanos, who opposed his plans for genocide. Although Groot sacrificed his life to save the others, his son, Baby Groot, soon joined the team, and so the Guardians took off, leaving the Power Stone to be kept safe by the Nova Empire. After Hydra made their move against S.H.I.E.L.D, splitting the agency into two warring halves, the Avengers were called together to recapture the scepter, which gave Scarlet Witch the opportunity to use her mental powers on Tony Stark, giving him a vision of his greatest fear, a future in which humanity was destroyed by an alien invasion. Haunted by the vision, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner used the scepter to create Ultron, an artificial intelligence program which malfunctioned and came to believe peace could only be achieved if humans were eliminated so the species could begin again. Stark and Banner then combined the Jarvis AI program with an android body made by Ultron, which was then powered by the Mind Stone to create Vision, a new superhero with enhanced strength and resilience, who could fly, shoot energy blasts, and walk through solid objects. With the help of Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, they defeated Ultron and saved humanity. However, Quicksilver died in the Battle of Sokovia, as did many others, leading the nations of the world to write the Sokovia Accords, a document creating a set of rules and regulations for enhanced individuals, creating a split in the Avengers, with some accepting and others rejecting the agreement. By this time, the team grew to include Vision, Scarlet Witch, James Rhodes called War Machine, a longtime friend of Tony Stark with his own battlesuit, and Sam Wilson called Falcon, a soldier and friend of Captain America with goggles that enhanced his vision, and a flight suit to fly at incredible speeds. Unfortunately, the team soon broke apart when Bucky Barnes, called the Winter Soldier, was accused of bombing a United Nations ceremony in Austria. The childhood friend of Captain America, Bucky Barnes, was captured by Hydra during the Second World War, who enhanced his capabilities and conducted mind control experiments, turning him into a weapon for their use. However, having been free of Hydra's control for some time, Captain America believed his friend innocent and gathered allies to help learn the truth, including Falcon, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Scott Lang, also known as Ant-Man, a contact of Falcon who wore a suit that allowed him to shrink to the size of an ant or grow to the size of a giant. However, those who signed the Sokovia Accords could not allow them to subvert the system, and so Iron Man led his own team to capture them, joined by Vision, War Machine, Black Widow, and King T'Challa of Wakanda, who wore the mantle of Black Panther and wanted vengeance for the death of his father during the UN bombing. Stark also brought in young Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, a boy who was bitten by a spider and developed great strength, speed, and resilience, able to climb walls and swing from buildings. Though they succeeded in exposing the truth and clearing Bucky Barnes, the Avengers remained divided, with Captain America and his allies forced to go into hiding, while Hawkeye and Ant-Man cut deals with the government and retired. While the rest of the Avengers were occupied with events on Earth, Thor, Loki, a Valkyrie, and the Hulk joined forces to defeat Odin's eldest child, Hela, the goddess of death, by evacuating Asgard and allowing their world to be destroyed. Yet before departing, Loki secured the Tesseract from Odin's vault. After suffering a number of setbacks, including the failure of Loki, the betrayal of Ronan the Accuser and his daughter Nebula who joined him, the departure of his daughter Gamora, and the destruction of a large part of his Chitauri army, Thanos put on the Infinity Gauntlet and set out to capture the Infinity Stones himself. Gathering his armies, he first captured the Power Stone from the Nova Empire, and then tracked down and killed Loki to take the Space Stone. Sending the Black Order to Earth, Doctor Strange was captured by Ebony Maw, who wanted the Time Stone within the Eye of Agamotto, but found it protected by a powerful spell he could not break. However, the Doctor was soon rescued by Tony Stark and Peter Parker in his new Iron Spider suit, who managed to sneak aboard the ship before it left Earth. Thanos next went after the Reality Stone, held by the Collector on Nowhere, but was confronted by the Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and their newest member, Mantis. However, Thanos easily defeated them and left with the Reality Stone, as well as his daughter Gamora, who was forced to watch her sister Nebula tortured until she finally gave up the Soul Stone's location. Traveling to the planet of Vormir, Thanos then had to sacrifice that which he cared for most, trading Gamora's life for the Soul Stone. As all this occurred, the other Guardians, Rocket and Groot, having befriended Thor, helped him replace his hammer Mjolnir by convincing the dwarf Eitri to craft a new weapon called Stormbreaker, forged in the heart of a dying star. While exploring Titan, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange encountered Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis, combining their forces to stop Thanos, while learning that Doctor Strange used the Time Stone to see 14 million possible futures, concluding that in only one scenario was he defeated. When the Mad Titan arrived to take the Time Stone, they engaged him in battle, and with the help of Mantis came close to victory, only for Star-Lord to lose control when he learned of Gamora's death, breaking the hold over his mind. Regaining his strength, Thanos quickly defeated them and threatened to kill Iron Man, until Doctor Strange agreed to give up the Time Stone in exchange for his life. With 5 stones now in his possession, Thanos departed to find the last one. Back on Earth, the divided Avenger factions joined together once more, including Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, Vision, War Machine, Bruce Banner wearing Hulkbuster armor as he was unable to transform, Black Panther, and the Winter Soldier, now known as the White Wolf. Fighting the final battle for the Mind Stone in Wakanda, the Avengers joined the armies of King T'Challa to engage the Black Order and Outriders. Rocket, Groot, and Thor, armed with Stormbreaker, then joined the fight, but were ultimately defeated when Thanos killed Vision, took the Mind Stone, and snapped his fingers, eliminating half the population of the universe, which suddenly vanished into black ash. Those who were called included the White Wolf, Falcon, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Groot, Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, while Iron Man survived alongside Captain America, Bruce Banner, Thor, Rocket, War Machine, Black Widow, Nebula, Hawkeye, and Ant-Man, who was trapped within the quantum realm when his girlfriend the Wasp and her family disappeared. Back in New York, Nick Fury soon joined many others by disappearing into black ash. However, moments before vanishing, he used his special pager to send an emergency message to Captain Marvel. After the battle, an injured Thanos was transported to an unknown location, possibly within the Soul Stone, where he met his daughter Gamora as a child to discuss everything he sacrificed for his mission. Yet despite the pain he felt inside, he found comfort in his belief that he secured a future of peace and prosperity for those who remained, and so with his life's work complete, he sat in silence and watched the sun rise over a grateful universe. Love audiobooks? Then be sure to check out Audible, where they have the world's largest collection available. Simply sign up through the link in the description box below and get 2 free audiobooks to start out. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Belligerent Man, Soul Guide Medical, Sir Dayron of House Ashford, and Mr. Bliss. If you'd like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and click on the links to see more.